Good evening, RPG Limit Break, and welcome to the second week of the Duck Derby right here, our showcase for our new runners who have gone through our Duckling Boot Camp, learned all they needed to learn about Final Fantasy Randomizer, and are now here showing off their skills for you. I am Darkmoon EX, joined in the booth by Luffy DV, apparently both of us liking to have acronyms at the end of our names. Luffy, how's it going over there?
It's going great, Darkmoon. Thank you for inviting me to join in tonight. Very excited to see our new crop of runners come out here and show us their stuff.
Yes. We will have Delasa cropped and ready in just a couple. They had to restart their stream to get it set to the proper size, so as soon as they're up, we will have them cropped in. Actually, it looks like they might be ready. Let me go do an on-the-fly crop right now if I can. Meanwhile, Luffy, do you want to explain what's going on with these flags? Did you have a chance to look at them?
I did, yes.
Cool.
So I'll tell you what we got going on tonight. Typical stuff right here when you look at the goals and scaling. You know, kill chaos, defeat the fiends, light the orbs, yada yada yada.
Yada yada.
Yeah, boss scaling, not too bad. Even the HPs may be a little bit lower, 90% to 170, but then you get down to incentives and things get a little crazy. So we are playing some fun stuff that we like to call here, Oops All Loose. This is going to be fun, folks. You like opening boxes? These are the kind of seeds for you. We have one incentive item, and it's the Massa, which is great, but it's locked in Corneria. That's the only thing we know. Everything else can be anywhere within simple logic.
Okay. I'm getting the Twitch error for Delasa, so I'm going to have to do a backup for them. Give me a second. You gotta love it when Twitch is like, hey, you're not watching this right. We won't let you crop them. But fine. Anyway,
yeah,
continue.
This is live TV, folks. This is what happened. Alright, so getting back down here to some more stuff. So we got free ship, free bridge, free canal. So we're giving our runners some access to pretty much a good part of the world to start. However, when you go to the maps, we only have early open progression on. For those of you that don't know, early open progression means you're going to be able to walk from Canaria to Dwarf Cave, but that's about it. You can't go down. There is no tile separating the river down there in between Dwarf Cave and Northwest Castle, and we do not have northern docks on, so the runners are going to be funneled in certain directions. The question is, where are they going to go? You got some early options. Marsh Cave, obviously, but then you got the canal there that can get you over to the few entrances that you have over in Earth Cave, etc. And then you can always go over to Crescent Lake area and maybe you get lucky because just because everything's all loose, I mean, maybe you get something sending you in a certain direction. You never know.
Gonna be a lot of fun. I like Oops All Loose, honestly. And the interesting thing about it, and this is getting deep into the, logic of the game and all that, but it tends to be that when you do Oops All Loose, as we like to call it, the game kind of front loads a lot of those items, which it's weird, but it does it. So we end up with a lot of early key items that you're going to see, and that's going to help the runners figure out where they should go and what they should do, we think. I mean, sometimes you get so many of them that you just don't have a clue, but we'll find that out as we go.
Yeah, correct. So to your point, there's going to be some key items flying out pretty early, but are they going to be useful? We're going to have to wait and see. And we're off.
We are off, and I do apologize for the janky crop I'm doing right now. We'll get that out of the way in just a second. Just got to get the losses set up on the fly, and then we'll be good to go.
Alright, so level 1 white magic, we got Fear, Lamp, Cure 4, pretty good. Red Mage learnable there in slot 3. Ruse, white locked only. Black Magic, Fast, Slow, Lit, and Warp. So good utility with Fast and Warp, but Lit, we're not going to be doing much damage with magic here early in the game.
No, but there's not a spell there of the ones that you want that I really hate having early. You're going to get a lot of great charges of it. It is going to suck until they can get over to Provoca and find out what magic they have. Whether or not, they're going to have anything useful, but... Yeah, because, right now you're sitting there going, my kingdom for a Thor hammer,
Yeah, some kind of AoE, anything that we can get.
Yeah.
Mage stick, Thor hammer, give me something.
Anything, yeah.
Yep. But looks like we got some fairly standard similar parties here, seeing a lot of Fighter Rainbow. That makes the most sense. Pretty easy utility across the board there. Gives you access to both black and white spells, a complete catalog, and that red mage can go in either direction for you. And as you can see, folks, we have free tail to our runners. So when we get access to Bahamut, we're going to be able to promote as soon as we can.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask a question here, and this is me, not having a chance to pay attention while people were getting their stuff set up because I was struggling to get everything ready. Was this a forced party, or did everyone just choose Fighter Rainbow?
I'm getting down here right now. Yeah, no, this is no force. Everything, our runners had access to anything they wanted, but this is what they chose.
I mean, I can understand the fighter. Don't get me wrong on that. With the Oops All Loose, you're going to be checking treasures. Fighter is great because you're going to open boxes, you're going to get gear.
Yep.
Fighter Rainbow is a safe party. Don't get me wrong. I've played Fighter Rainbow before. I will still default to it occasionally. It's just curious that all four people took that.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting when you see that. With the Blursings, let's talk a little bit about that too. So, Blursings tonight, pretty decent for what you got. Fighter got plus 15 luck. Thief, who nobody took, got access to the defense sword.
Yeah.
Black belt plus 10 MDef, which our tracker Wope was pointing out exactly what a black belt means the way their MDef goes. So,
I know, right?
Yeah. Nice. Red Mage, not surprised everybody took a Red Mage here. They got plus 2 level 1 MP, so they got access to 4 charges right off the get. Which, beautiful thing. White Mage, ability to swing the X-Cow, which, I mean, instead of White Samurai, could we have White Knight strats going later with that early ruse? I guess we'll see. Black Mage plus 5 luck, so they'll be running a little bit better than they can. Yeah, but it's a safe party to your point. It's a comfort level party. I've run Fighter Rainbow plenty of times. It's fine.
It is. Yeah, I mean, they got a ribbon there in the first 3 boxes of Topher, so like they're doing fine for a lot of good stuff. It's not a complaint there. It's just and these are ducks, so remember they're new players. Safe is definitely something they're going to want to do. I think between you and I, we'd probably look at, like, maybe not a Thief because you got enough luck here between Fighter and Black Mage that Thief doesn't feel that necessary. But, and I wouldn't disagree with skipping the Black Belt even with the extra MDef because, you're opening so many boxes, the benefit of the Black Belt's kind of lost.
Yes.
But I think, like, Fighter Red to Black, Fighter 2 Red Black, Fighter None Red Black, those were all on the table.
Yeah, I agree. These are our Duckling Weekly flags too. And the funny thing is, it's a different set of Blursings for that compared to what we have here for our runners tonight. But I threw up a practice run of the Duckling Weekly just, maybe 20, 30 minutes before we started, just to get a feel for flags that aren't co-op right now. And that was the exact party I chose, Fighter Red Double Black. So you and I are on the same page.
Yeah, see. And I mean, when I was running Spring Tournament, I totally defaulted to Fighter None Red Black because I wanted to siphon the experience onto the guys I cared about a lot more. Scaling's low, it could work. Not arguing, it's the White Mage that's the safety part. But I mean, sometimes you don't debate the safety bit. Sometimes you want it.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah. So, to point out, they killed Garland, they went to the king, and they got some couch cash, and then a copper bracer from the princess. So apparently it's garage sale day in Canaria. They're just dropping crap that they don't want anymore.
and that can be a little interesting to some people seeing this for the first time. Like, why aren't we getting items from the king and Sarah? What's going on here? But that's what we're in for tonight, folks. You're going to see a lot of crap, and the most useful thing you're going to get is money, and maybe you get something random lucky. But other than that, it's to Dark Moon's point, it's going to be yard sale, lawn trash all over the place.
It is. We did get fire too. I noticed that from the Black Magic shop, so that's not bad to find. Over here at Provoca, we're going to kill the pirates and get whatever Vicky's trying to get rid of from his basement. Just a couple. I have seen runners going to Matoya. I don't think I saw any key items there. Not that I debate that as a move that you do while you're here. I just might have waited on doing that until after I killed the pirates, simply by grace of the fact that just on the off, the 1 in 255 chance that Vicky ended up with the crystal, you don't have to double dip her twice.
Yeah, or, on the off chance that, you did have some kind of thing with a random shop item popping up there. And you never know.
You never know.
Tetron did a move. Tetron did a move that I would have done, just to your point, maybe in the opposite direction, saving in the inner sea right there at kind of the checkpoint and then making a decision from there.
Oh, yeah. That's a good way to do it, too.
understand. That's a good move. We got Lock 2 also at level 2 black, and I saw Fade. Yep, Fade, red learnable too. So that red mage pretty valuable already.
Yeah, and see, and this is what gets back to my point about the white mage and the safety bit. Again, not debating it. Now they have 2 Fade casters and they have 2 Cure 4 casters, but Cure 4 was red mage learnable. Fade is red mage learnable. You got 2 of the best spells you actually care about from your white mage, and they can even pick up like Invis, and your knight's gonna learn Ruse because that was at level 1, 4th
level
slot.
1 slot 4. Yep, level 1 slot 4.
So, like, most of what you want your white mage for isn't really there at this point.
Yep, I mean, we might be looking at a 3-man strats here at some point. Yeah.
Sir Tomalot made the mistake, and I've done this. That's not just, I'm not pointing it out to be mean to him, of not saving in Provoca when he had the chance, and got wiped by the pirates and sent back to Canaria. This is rule number 1 when you fight the pirates, even if they're quote-unquote safe. Save at the end. Just save there.
I was looking around here too at that too. I was like, these pirates are hitting relatively hard. 28 HP damage.
They
like,
rolled
I'm looking,
up.
are these? Yeah, I'm like, are these guys unsafe pirates on? No, they just rolled nasty. So that's interesting.
So I didn't see if the key item is for sale at the shops or if Tetron just wanted money and levels. Oh, item shops rocking the floater. Thank you, Woke. That explains it. I want to point out that Tetron is doing the Peninsula of Power Play. We're getting us some popcorn. And we'll see just how beefy these Tyros are. Well, they're dodgy, so that's not helping. And they're chonky with their hits. I might skip this fight and go to the second one. Yeah! This is not great. Oh, hey! That was less than 500? 600 health? That's not bad. And now he's level 6.
Okay.
Okay, I'll buy that. We'll see if he decides that's the fight he wants or if he's gonna do a different one. That's the fight he wants. Okay, well, I mean, Tyros are great experience stakes. Is running low on the fades, though, so this fight's gonna be a little harder than the last one, especially since he only got his fighter up to 45. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah.
That might be a reset. I would, like, with the Fade, although, like, the Tyro's worth more, I would almost think about going to the, like, looking for a Frostwolf fight or something, you know?
Yeah, Frostwolves, Zombies, yeah, something over there that can, maybe roll down and give you some early XP and early cash for sure.
So, yes, the floater in 14 grand, 14.6. Floater here in the Provoca area, as my brain tries to reset itself. That is an interesting bit of kit to have to deal with it. Like, I like it, but it's really gonna open up the world for that, you know?
It's the funny thing too about that floater. That's great to see, but we need a canoe before we can do anything with that. We don't have Ryukon Desert Rock. We don't have a canoe to go through the river system. That's just the 14,000 gold paperweight till we find that.
Yeah, that is an interesting problem.
Yeah, so I think I saw a heel stick that they picked up in Matoya. I maybe would definitely sell that right away, try to grab some cash so that can roll up and you can get some good money from it.
Yeah, heel staff sells great. Heel staff, not that useful.
Yeah. It's money. It's a money stick. That's about it.
It is vendor trash.
Yep.
It's the garage sale goes both ways today.
That's right.
But and to your point, it'll often sell for like 7 or 8 grand in your pocket. The pop drive that Tetron was doing, don't need to do it when you can get that heel stick. And without the canoe, the floater, nice, not immediately useful.
Yep.
Yeah. like you don't know where to go. Marsh is on the table. In fact, this is probably one of the few times where I'd actually think about going to Marsh. You're especially if you did that pop grind. You're like level 6, level 8. You have Fade. Marsh is not going to hold a lot of mystery for you. The only problem you got there is the spooters that had rub. But I think I'd take the risk. And then with Oops All Loose, you get to get the treasure, I think, for the floater there, and you don't have to worry about it.
Yep, I agree. And you can even maybe find some more gear to sell. I think there was an opal helmet right there that Iker picked up. I mean, that could sell for anywhere from a couple grand to, 10, 20, depending on what it rolled. So
yeah,
he's probably got his floater money in hand right now. And we're seeing the divergence with Delasa over there on the Melman continent, looking at what Earth Cave has to offer.
Yeah, I saw he was in there. I hadn't seen... I saw a Pro Ring +1, which is nice to find. Hadn't seen a lot else, but, I mean, Pro Ring's a Pro Ring. That actually... Would that help against the rub? Is that the right spell type?
I believe it is the right spell type, yes.
So there you go. That's 2 items right there that help you fight the scooters. That makes Marsh a lot happier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Okay, and we got an interesting trap tile there with a mage.
Yeah, I'd skip that. But you also got the power stick, which is yet more garbage sale trash right here.
Yep. So we got floater money in hand right now. So all we got to do is we got to get ourselves that canoe.
Not that I hated the idea of what Tetron was doing, getting a few quick levels at pop, because Marsh at like level 4 is a lot scarier than Marsh at like level 8.
Yeah. To your point, even with the the fade and the fire 2 and the cure 4, you can just run into like packs of ambush and crap over there that's just going to really ruin your night.
No, yeah, you want a few levels and a few spell charges under your belt. So I think like long run that was a good call. Just don't stay there for the full floater money unless you get it in the first 2 fights. Yeah.
Alright, so...
Haven't seen a lot of magic here that was... Oh, Lightning 3 is nice, and Fire 3. Yeah. Alright, so that level's good.
Yeah, and we had Nuke at level 5. It is Black Mage learnable.
Nice.
Also, Saber and Ice 3. Saber will be Red Mage learnable, or Red Wizard learnable, I think, there in slot 1. So that's something. And then the Ice 3 is promotion lock, but I mean, it's fine. We got Nuke, we're not going to use that in the same level with Ice 3.
Theoretically, Ice 3 can do more damage than Nuke can against monsters that are weak to it, which is basically dragons and water elementals. But that's a niche use of it, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good use in the right circumstance, but for the most part, you're going to be throwing Fade out. Unless you're finding Gas Dragons and Waters, to your point, that Ice 3 is going to be secondary, especially being promotion locked.
Yeah, and when you have Nuke and Fade, who really cares about Ice 3?
Correct.
Ice 3, the 4-man's Nuke, when you have 3 other types of board. Yeah. Plus, I mean, Ice 3 is not even good against the undead. Ice 3 is actually bad against it. So, like, wow.
Yeah, we got Seafood Party Pack here on the trap tile in Marsh Cave. Fade goes off. Looks like Iker's going to take him down.
Nice.
So we're going to see get a few levels here up to level 8. Not bad.
There's that level 8 and the TNT.
How about that? Incentive Marsh has incentive item. Interesting.
Incentivized chest. Gotta love it when that happens. But this is why you can't sleep on any one chest in Oops All Loose. Anything can have what you're looking for.
Yep. Of course. That just goes to show you right there that getting the turn order to get that spell off. I mean, if you took a death right there, are you really going to go back to that chest at these levels? Maybe not.
No, yeah. Where was the herb? I missed that.
Oh, I missed that too.
I'm sure Wout has it, but I can't open up the notes because I'm restreaming 4 people and my computer is now a potato.
I'm looking at it right now. It was loose in Marsh Bottom, so Marsh Bottom provided.
Loaded. Now, I want to point out, Iker got those. Iker did not check, unless he did it first, the upper right chest of that floor. Could have a 3rd item. You don't want to see it.
Looking at our notes here, what says Marsh Bottom Northeast chest. I wonder if Iker left behind that herb, or unless it's in. Nope, he's got it.
No, he's got it. So that must be where he got it, and then he did a loop around for the other one. Okay, this 4 people to watch. This is a lot. So now the thing is, he can turn those in and potentially not get anything, which I think is what happens there.
Right.
Phil CKD asking Duck Derby. Yes, this is our twice annual tournament of our new players after they've gone through our new player program to show their skills, quack around a bit, and get their flippers wet in a tournament setting.
Mm-hmm.
And we just call our new players ducks because we're weird. There's absolutely no connection to Final Fantasy whatsoever. We just like the name.
Yeah. My wife gets a kick out of it too. She loves that we call the secondary, the quote-unquote veterans platypus too. She loves it. Absolutely loves it.
Phil CKD, if you're looking for it, Final Fantasy Randomizer has a lot of really good beginner presets and a lot of training utilities and guides that we've done over time for new players that are looking to come in. FinalFantasyRandomizer.com if you're interested. Plus, of course, we run these events twice a year, and it is, and I'm not really, like, I say this because I'm part of the community, but I also say it because it's true. It is one of the deepest and most robust randomizers you are going to find around. The dev team we have is insane, and is constantly adding new features. It's amazing.
Yep. I joined Randomizer Discord about a year ago this point, and let alone what's happened in that year, the last 6 months has just been furious with the things they're coming up with. It has been insane. Oh yeah, no, like, I joined 2 years ago, and the randomizer is practically unrecognizable from where it was when I joined it. Like, and if you go back and watch 3 years ago, it's night and day. Like, the things you could do in the first couple tournaments are just basically follow the linear route of the original game, but, you know, with the key items mixed up a little. Like, this isn't even, like, the same game anymore. Yep. Dare I say, slightly better.
Oh, yeah, much better. I mean, I love the randomizer where it's at. Exit level 6, that's nice to have. Force slot, is that learnable where they're at right now?
At
least by the White Mage.
Level 2, that I think that is learnable by the White Mage, yes.
Yeah, okay, exit's really nice to have in an Oops All Loose. The warp and the exit being in spots where they can learn it, really beneficial for them because, like, at any point you can find a couple things you want to get, and you're like, I don't want to walk back out of this hellish place I'm in.
Yep. And especially with the Black Mages being squishy like they are, you're not going to have all the charges of warp that you want.
Yep. So we're turning in this TNT, and we get, like, a retirement fund. That's what we got. $3,000 is nice. That's floater money right there. But like it's not. If you were hoping for the key or something, that's not it. And I want to point this out. This is the bad thing. They had to go into March early to try and see if there's anything useful, which there wasn't. But that doesn't preclude them having to go to March again when they get the key.
Yep.
Yeah,
we have 3 chests there in the Marsh basement that are locked behind that key that, I mean, we could have the loot down there, we could have a chime down there, there could be anything in there.
I mean, they could be forced to sail the open seas for a while, get the key, only to find out that the canoe is there waiting for them after they finally have done like an hour of sailing. The randomizer can be a cruel mistress sometimes, honestly.
Yep. I gotta think that we might be digging a little bit deeper in Earth Cave now too, because I'm trying to think of where else our runners can go. We haven't found a ruby, so we don't have access into the Titan Horde yet. We don't have a canoe, which is what we're waiting for to use that floater. So ice is off the table. Volcano's off the table. No northern docks. I mean, I'm thinking our progression is probably somewhere here in Earth Cave, or we're doing a double back to bottom of Marsh if we find that key.
Yeah. No, I agree. There's just not a lot of spaces left for them to go. Because the canoe blocks a lot. I mean, like, dare I say, like, what we don't want to see is them find Oxyale loose in Earth, and then they have to go do, like, a level 8 sea dive, because that's the only place left to them. But, yeah, it's a possibility. We did have another question in chat from Phil CKD asking about they never beat the game straight through. Is that a problem if they come to the randomizer? Absolutely not. The most important thing to do is, I think, I don't know, Luffy, where you came from, but I watched the randomizer a bunch before I joined, and that gave me an idea of what to look for. Worrying about key items, knowing what the goal of the game is, that's more important than actually having played the original vanilla linear game straight through.
Yep, that's 100% right. I learned to play this game from watching YouTube videos of the 2019 Spring Tournament and 2020 Spring Tournament. Yeah, that was how I got involved, and it got me here. So I played the game 25 years ago, 30 years ago with my buddy. So
Yep.
yep. You don't not have to beat the game when you're a kid and not have access to it now. You can do a lot of things with it.
So I want to point out, Delasa here, and this is a good learning experience for everyone watching. Delasa here is trying to figure out where to go on Marsh for these chests. If you come in here, there's certain rooms that have chests in them and certain rooms that don't. But one of the things to note about Marsh, and some of the other dungeons do this, is there are quote-unquote linked chests. Two chests that share the same treasure between them. So if you open one, you don't need to open the other because you already got the treasure out of it. For Marsh Bottom, you go, so it's like, think about it as like a grid of 4 columns, 4 rows. You go down to the second row, first column there on the left, and you do a kind of Zorro Z, essentially. First room, second room, down to the third row, second room, over to the third row, third room, and you make a little Z, like Tetris block pattern almost in a Z shape there. Then you go up to the upper right and get the last chest in a different room up in the upper right corner, row 1, room 4, essentially. That is, without the key, that's your best path to this dungeon.
Yep.
Yep.
And while Dark Moon was explaining the finer points of walking Marsh Bottom, we saw a double caster item find there by Iker in the bottom 3-pack chest of Earth Cave, finding the Mage Stick and the Thor Hammer.
Nice.
So there's some more utility AoE.
I mean, that's actually going to help in a lot of places right here. The benefit of Mage Stick is that the undead, like, die to it, so that's great. The benefit of the Thor Hammer is that not a lot of stuff resists lightning, and Thor Hammer casts lightning. So between those two, you have a couple really nice caster items right there.
Yep. And they're free, so you don't gotta waste charges of nuke walking through a dungeon taking trash encounters.
Yeah, if you remember from later Final Fantasy games where you can hold a stick in the air and it will cast a spell, and you can do that over and over again. Like Final Fantasy V has the Masamune that will cast haste every time you use it if your person can equip the Masamune. Things like that. These are those kinds of items. This is where that started in the series. Oh, map check, take a drink.
Oh, yep, map check, drink.
That's a meme of the community, and that is always going to be something I say.
Yep, and it's never not going to be funny.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not like dissing Sir Tob a lot for that. There are times where I'm sitting there going, where the hell am I on this world, you know?
Oh yeah. There's plenty of times where I still got to think about what's the best way to go. Do I go north? Do I go south, east, west? And I got to really think about it. But yeah, map check, drink, always fun. And map
check, drink. Okay, this actually helps us. There are no northern docks right now, so the only two places they can go are Marsh and Earth.
Yep. So we're gonna find something here on the vampire floor. So we're not gonna, unless we find a rod to get us past the vampire floor here in Earth to keep going, our progression is in Earth Cave somehow.
Yeah, somewhere. That's the only place it can be. And I mean, part of me doesn't want it to be key because I don't want them to have to go back to Mars, but part of me like wants it to be key so A, they can rip off the band-aid, and B, then when they have to go to other key-locked rooms, it's already done. Plus, you get the key now, you can go check Elf, you can check Dwarf, you can check Canary, you can check Topher. That's a lot of key-locked areas with a good chance of getting some key items out. Because again, as we discussed at the beginning here, Oops All Loose tends to front-load your loose items.
Yeah, I think that gives us access to quick Twitch math, which is never a good idea. 21 chests, I think, so that's some pretty good chance you're going to find something in there behind that key.
Yep, and as Woke correctly points out, and we're forgetting it, there is the Masamune locked in Canaria Treasury, so that key is going to help them out substantially.
Yeah. Masa, not going to be progression as far as what to do in the game, but it's going to take down everything in your path, including these fiends. That's your end game win condition.
That's your end game. Yep. Oh, Tob, I've been there. That sailing around the northern side of that continent sucks.
Yep. So we only got a few chests left here for Iker to check in Earth Caves. This is getting pretty tight here. Ice Shield +4, I like that. That's, I mean, your fighter's dead, your red mage is dead. No, Fade rolling huge on those wizards. Woo! Wow, big numbers.
Now,
right, so
please just have warp. Oh, okay, you got farm 4. Goodbye, right there. I agree with that.
Yep. And fire through for good measure. That's fine.
Transit land, good. Harm 4 kills it.
Okay.
Good job.
Nice.
Okay. Canoe! Oh, God, last chest.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
Well, floater.
Yep. All right. So it took a minute to get there, but we're there.
Yep. All that matters. End of the day is you got through it. And if it was me, and I don't know what they're doing, but if it was me, I would kind of be legitimately angry about Earthcave doing that to me.
Yeah. Because you knew you were going to be forced somewhere pretty uncomfortable based off of what you had access to early in the game, and you were hoping it wasn't that far down.
Yeah, no, you're like, could I have not gotten this on floor 1? I would risk it at that point to just wait until I got the rod to come back. Really, game? Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so with Canoe, we have access to Ice Cave, Volcano, Ordeals.
Yep.
That's about it. I mean, that's more than we had, and there's a lot of chests in Volcano, which, with the way that this scene is playing out, I might go there first.
Yeah, I mean, I get my floater, I get my airship. I might go to Cardia first just to check the free boxes.
Oh! Yeah, I'm sorry, with the floater, I said it and I immediately forgot about it. With floater on the table, that also opens up the Cardias, you're right. That opens up the on-rack area and the extra shop there. Like, it opens up a fair bit, actually.
Yeah, it's a good thing, honestly, it was the Canoe, because at least that keeps our logic kind of in check, where they're going to have to think about Ice Cave, Volcano. They got to keep those Canoe checks in mind right now, but that floater, I mean, the entire world is open now, especially having the Canoe. So this is going to come down to routing and decisions now for the last part of the seed. The first half hour, we got to where we wanted to be. It took us a minute, but we're there.
Yep.
What are you going to do with it now?
Yeah. And Sir Tobalot had just enough money right there to buy the floater and then get a #1 combo from Vicky's Burgers afterwards. That was barely any change left at that point. Would you like a receipt with that, Tom? Because, darn.
Good thing the Provoca Inn was the same price as trying to stay in Bratislava.
And Tom looks like he's doing the right call. No, wait, no, you can river system.
Yep. No.
Okay. Where are you going?
Did they? Oh, I don't know if Tob has been to Earth Cave to get that Canoe yet. I think it's just been Tetron.
Was that
and
Tetron who did it? Okay, I thought Tob did it as well, but maybe he's going into doing a double check of Mars. This is the thing when you get into something like this. If you're not prepared for where the world will take you, you can easily get confused. And it's, again, why I advise, do not leave a dungeon until you have checked every chest you can. Just don't. Do not, in an Oops All Loose seed, do not leave a dungeon. Also, Tob, save. Save, Tob. Thank you. Thank you. And then reset here and skip this encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another skill. I think that's a nascent skill that we don't really talk about much in these derbies here. But something important, you get 2 steps into a dungeon, you get attacked by something, just reset. Like, yeah, you're saved right outside. It's faster to reset and just walk back in at that point than it is even to enter your 4 runs, even if you have an ambush on the enemies. Like, yeah. Save the frames.
Yep.
Other thing to note here, Tob is walking along the top of the room, which is a mistake a lot of us make when we're first learning. Walk along the bottom of a room that has a door in it, because you actually cannot get encounters along a wall that has a door in it in this game. It's just a weird coding bug.
Yep. You'll hear us sometimes talk about encounter manipulation, and like Darkman just said, the where to walk in the room. You want to try to advance your counter table and steps as minimal as possible through dungeons. So little things like that quote-unquote sort of advanced tech that our ducks are going to learn as they keep working is going to really help them. You know, they'll watch themselves 6 months from now and be like, wow, what was I doing?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they'll be sitting there going, oh, I did that?
Yeah, but you know, it's part of the game. We've all done it. Yeah. So anything we say tonight, we're not trying to get on our ducks at all. We're just pointing out these things. We've made the mistake. We've all last location something. It happens.
Well, and we also know that a lot of our people are going to come back through and watch their performance tomorrow or the next day, just to see how they did and see what we say and if there's anything they could do to improve. And so when we point out things like that, it's to help them as well when they're doing their watch back. Give them little bits of advice that just to beat it in their head, which is important because if you don't hear it 10 times, you're not going to remember. Like that. You don't need to check that room, check the one below. There's nothing in this room. Things like that.
Small little things you learn as you keep going. And worms with thunder, the wrong worms too. That's pretty gross.
Yeah. So yeah, when you're watching along with us and we're chatting about these things, you'll learn, and then when they come back and watch, they'll learn. It's all about learning here. Tom gets the herb. Tom is going to be sad when he finds out the herb is nothing.
Did they pick up the TNT as well?
He only checked the top room, and I don't see it lit on his thing, so, I mean, thankfully for him, I don't think it turned into anything. But that is a disappointment. Also want to point out Tetron's in the air.
Yep.
As is Iker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got 30 minutes in, Iker was in the air, and Tetron not far behind.
So, the sage here at Crescent Lake is like, hey, I hear you like axes. You like axes, right? Because I have an axe for you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
I see you make canoes. You like wood? Here's an axe. Go chop some.
Go live your best Viking life right there. Not that the Silver Axe +4 is a bad weapon, but, you know.
No, it's fine for the early game here, but, you know, we know where our in-game weapon is, and Iker gonna promote here, too. I like this move. Get it out of the way. Just be done with it. You never got to come back here again.
Well, and with a party like this, where you only benefit from class promoting, getting it out of the way now means that when he finds spells that he wants, like, for his white mage and his black mage down the way, he's not going to have to worry about whether or not they can buy it. He just needs the money.
Yep. And he also picked up an X-Cow somewhere along the line, too, so that fighter is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. Excuse me, now, that's a knight after promotion. Going to be doing quite a bit of damage now, swinging that sword.
And eventually, he can have the fighter swing the Masamune, or have the red mage or white mage swing the Masamune, and the other one of the two can swing the X-Cow. Because the blessings we have let the white mage do it.
Yep. Some crazy wild stuff right there. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, I gotta say, with the white magic or black magic that we saw, Dragon +2 for that promoted
Nice.
That's gonna be awesome. And this is, again, why we say the black belt is not as good here, because the black belt you have to grind, but the fighter you just need to find gear, and they're finding plenty of gear.
Yep.
With the spells that they've found for the red mage and the white mage here, despite what I was saying earlier about doing, you know, black-red without a white, and I would still do that, and I'd just be popular to it at this point.
Yes.
Like, I would be sitting here going, you know, that black mage, not really needed.
They're kind of losing their usefulness as we go along here. We saw fast and warp level 1.
Yeah.
You get that black mage to level 10, they're going to have all the charges you want for that level right there.
Yeah.
Nuke level 5, great.
It's a lot of work to get him there.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Temper, and you know Temper is going to be level 7 or later. And
I'd
that's
live
a
without
spell that... Yeah, you can live without it,
yeah.
I mean, with fast, you can live without it, so... I'd be 3-manning here with that knight, red, white, and just kind of go with that. You got exit, you got fade, you got everything you need.
Yep, I'd put the black mage up front, let them get ground down by some monsters, and then just go 3-man on that, because the fades and those spells that the red mage has and everything else, you're good to go.
Yeah, and don't look now, but we got one of those instances that I was pointing out earlier where a NPC is going to give you a key item. Grandpa had the key.
Grandpa Sarda.
Grandpa Sarda.
So, Ikir's making a lot of good moves here. After they got their floater, they went to Cardia, did their promotion with that free tail. I'm assuming they did the Cardia Isles and didn't find anything, but still, they were there. And now now that they checked Sarda, who was a good check that you should never forget, and I swear I haven't done it repeatedly over and over again. Frickin' Sarda, let me tell you, man. You're out of the way and I forget you exist. But yeah, no, with the, and there's that Masamune that we knew, and that's, that's so nice. Even just default Masamune, that's pretty stats right there. And the Animate. what is this right here? This is what I was talking about. After he did his check at Sarda, he got the key, which immediately allowed him to go and check all the key lock areas. Now he's checking the key locks, and he's getting even more good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Tetron over there making the volcano play found the loot in Volcano Armory behind the trap chest. So that is a end game essential item right there. So everybody's going to have to do that at some point.
So we know where the key and the loot are. Those are the two items you need to get through Temple of Fiends. And if you played the vanilla game and are surprised that you need the key to get to the Temple of Fiends, that's because you didn't realize one of the doors is locked because the devs are jerks. That's
right.
Vanilla behavior.
Yeah, so funny thing too, looking at the items that our runners have right here, we have floater, obviously, so airship. We have canoe, great. We have the loot and we have the key, but we don't have anything to finish any dungeon besides volcano. No rod, no oxyel, no chime, no cube.
We do have cube. Tetron somehow got cube and slab, which I'm guessing were both in volcano.
Slab was definitely in Volcano. It was one of the top right hairpins, so he must have picked up the cube somewhere along the line there as well.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's what I'm guessing too, because I didn't see it on his thing before. That means that that armory floor was just absolutely loaded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and checking our notes from Woad, our buddy. Yep, Volcano Armory cube and loot.
And see, this is what I was saying when we were talking about where to go. Yeah, the Cardia moves are good, the key lock moves are good. Then you look at where the treasure is dense at. And Volcano, especially that top floor, is a chest-dense area. So, and I think Iker probably will end up going there after they've done these key lock chests, which are also fairly chest-dense.
Yeah. And they're free for the most part. You got a couple trap tiles here in Northwest too. We're not going to be seeing a quote-unquote grind here with this kind of party, but if you run into the Eye or the Agma, you can get some cheeky levels pretty quick.
I mean, he's got a fighter that promoted at level 9. He's got some mages that are maybe level 9, level 10. I wouldn't hate if you found a good attack here, like grinding up to level 15.
Yeah. Start having that knight get some charges, and it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, there we
Fire
go. We got
3's
some
not
water.
gonna be good. Should have gone with the ice.
Yeah, Ice 2 would be an underrated spell here to use against these waters. It's going to do a lot more damage than Fire 3. Might even do more damage than Lightning 3, honestly.
Yeah. They're a little beefy, but I mean, depending upon the pack size you get here, I might take this 2 or 3 times. Because, I mean, you're already level 10, level 13. That's not bad.
Yeah, I'd burn all my spell charges if I had any left, walk out, save, and keep moving.
Exactly what I would do here. I would not take the zombies. Yeah, the two tiles on the sides are the same tile. Yeah. But yeah, no, I would take these water. They look like they're packs of 1 or 2. You're not going to get a ton of experience out of this, but take like 2 or 3 of these until you run out of charges. Yeah.
It's free, free real estate at this point. Just take it.
Yeah. And I mean, it looks like you can kill him with the Mazda swing and the X-Cal swing. You're good.
Yep, that's all you need.
But you also need to stop using fire on them. Use ice. I know it's confusing. You think water is going to be weak to lightning. Most water enemies here are. Water elementals are weak to ice.
Yep.
The more you know.
Yep. And knowledge of power.
G.I. Joe!
Alright, so level 14 right there. I think, like you said, it'll probably stop around 15, 16 maybe. You don't really need to sit here much longer than that.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd even go to 17, Like, I think 15's about where you want to go. You just want it to the point where your fighter can start learning spells. Just a little health to help them out.
Volcano, absolutely loaded as I saw another key item pick up the Oxyel there on the Agma floor.
See, this is what I was saying. And normally, I will agree, normally your best moves are Ordeals, and then go check the other Northern Continent areas, and try not to come back to Volcano until you absolutely have to. But you have to remember how the randomizer works, and when all the items are loose, all the items are going to get front-loaded, and you can't get much more front-loaded than the number of treasure chests in Volcano. So I think Tob is a little confused over where he's supposed to go. He has not been to Earth Cave yet, and that canoe is going to unlock a lot for him, unfortunately.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, hey, don't look now as well. Iker checking the key lock chests in Elfland Castle, finding back-to-back items, crown and bottle.
Yup. So yeah, I think Tetron and Iker are each making the right calls between the key locks and the volcanoes.
Yep.
Yep.
Delasa not far behind either, also in Volcano, working their way down. So Sir Todd just got to get over there, get his canoe, and it'll start. The picture will start opening up a little bit for him from there.
Yeah, I think once Iker and Tetron have both done the moves the other one of them has done, I think at that point you skip everything else that's up here. You don't bother going to Ice Cave. Just don't worry about it right now. It's too long a walk. You start trying to tackle some of the dungeons you can clear. Finish up Volcano if you haven't already, which I think Tetron's going to go for it. And then you go down, and I think at this point with level 15 or so under your belt, go do C.
Yeah. That's your next play here. You found the Oxyale. Yeah. You can go and you can full clear it. Yeah. It's got quite a bit of chests in there as well. Yeah. That's the move to make. I think you're right.
Yeah. Waterfall first, just to get out of the way, just in case. Robot probably won't have anything, but it's an easy walk, and there's, like 8 chests right there. That's a good dense area to check. You don't want to go to on-rack area and then suddenly realize you have to go back to the waterfall.
Yep. Just clear it now. We still need a few items to finish the game. We need that rod. We need that chime. We need that.
No, chime's here apparently too.
Oh, okay.
And volcano. So we need the rod.
We need the rod. Volcano loaded, fam.
Absolutely. That's like 4 or 5 items there at volcano. Yeah. Just like I blink and look away, and suddenly he has another item, and Carrie had nothing. That was 0 health.
Yep. Funny thing too, I mean, the fact that Volcano is that loaded too, that's going to take our runners away from Ice Cave.
Yeah. I wouldn't go there.
You know, I wouldn't go there either. But I mean, what if Ice Cave has
Ruby? Yes.
The
hero of the people, Tetron, is coming here to do the early sky play.
Love it. This is bold, but I mean,
no, this is good. Well, and I love this because most of the enemies here are going to be susceptible to the Fade and the Noob, the non-elementals, so they're not going to be able to stand up to a couple casts of that. And there's a lot of like healthy undead packs in here that are going to be susceptible to also the Harm 4 and the Fire that he has. Although these chimeras are hideous.
Yeah, stop. That's gross.
Yeah, that's really gross.
16 chests here, I think, on the first 2 floors as well, so very dense.
I want to point out, Iker's going to be in a better position when he comes here for this. Oh, and there's the rod. Okay, Tetron is at 44 minutes. Effective go mode. Yep. No, he still needs his key. As soon as he goes and gets that key.
Yeah, he's got to go see Sarda. That's a one-off location. You got to wonder when he's going to go check that.
Yeah, and this is why we always beat into our people's heads. Don't forget Sarda. Just don't. Because the number of times I have been burned by Sarda, like, even if you know he doesn't have anything, go check him to make sure he doesn't have anything.
Yep. Because, I mean, rando's gonna rando.
Yep.
And none of these NPCs are supposed to, air quotes, have an item, but you know what? Not only is it an item, it's an item we need to finish.
Okay, so 2 things. 1, Iker is following in Tetron's path. So if Iker decides that Sky Palace is the next play to make after he's cleared this out, Iker will be in go mode at that point, and it's going to be glorious for him. Second thing, Iker's also going to be in a good position against the Chimeras, because I believe Stop is a time spell, and the black shirt that Iker is rocking will protect him against that.
Yep.
So that's...
That early Sarda play is paying off quite well for Iker right now. With that promotion, he's got all the weapons, he's got all the gear, he's getting his levels as he goes. He's taking that walking grind, going through these dungeons, and just melting everything in his path too.
Like, he's got 2 ribbons. So let's look at his gear build out for a second. He's got the Mazda and he's got the X-Cal. He's got a Dragon Armor +2, an Ice Shield +4, a Pro Ring +1, those 2 ribbons, a black shirt, gold bracelets I saw in there as well for him, and he's gonna get basically all the key items he didn't already have here. Like, Iker is in a great position to finish this sub-hour 30.
Yeah, I agree. Once he gets his items, he's going to be getting his levels as he goes. We got a lot of dense XP locations left to go in Sea Shrine and in Sky/Mirage, so he's going to be getting in prime position here, especially with that early promotion.
Yeah, and I don't want to like overstate it for him because he has to go and do Sky next. that is essential for him to get his go mode. But like, even though he like Delasa, who just lit it, and Tetron, who lit about 5 minutes ago, both have their an orb on the table already. I want to say right now, depending upon his next move after Volcano, this is Iker's seed to lose.
Yeah, I mean, considering that one-off location that he remembered, it's so easy to go there and just grab it real quick. But you gotta wonder, are they gonna do it with all these other places open with so many more checks?
Yeah, because Iker right now has that key. If and when he goes to Sky, he'll get Rod on first floor because he's going to check everything because everyone's full clearing everything. And then at that point, he doesn't have to check anything else. He's done.
Yep.
Whereas
and he's going to get everything else in Volcano here, too.
Yeah, and Tetron here, although he's going to probably find some good gear, is going to end up full clearing this whole dungeon. Other thing I want to point out, Tetron hasn't class changed yet. I'd have to see if Delacia has, and I'll be able to tell in a second. Or not, because I don't know what the ducks look like when they're promoted. I don't think he's promoted. I think the white mage looks different as a duck. So that means that, like, I'm not certain whether or not they remember that they have a free table.
Yeah, I think you might be right. And Delaza here, making that ice cave play, which we know now because, you know, we have the benefit of sitting here watching 4 people run the same seed all at the same time. This is, unless he finds some good gear here, which is possible, sure. This is really just going to be a waste of about 6 to 8 minutes if he's lucky.
The only thing this might help Delasa for is it shows that Delasa is thinking about doing everything in the area. He might eventually remember Sword.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
That's the only upside to this move right here, is it may help him out.
Yeah. He's going to the locations that have the most boxes. This place, while it's a little bit longer to walk through, does outweigh denseness compared to like Ordeals. Tetron finding a crystal on Sky 1.
Kudo pointing out in chat, statements you only ever hear in a randomizer. I think the white mage looks different as a duck. Yeah, and I want to point out, Wout is correct. Iker's also got the Mazda that no one else has, and that is, of course, because no one else has gotten the key yet, so no one else can get that Mazda.
Yep, okay. That is correct.
Now, one upside for Tetron by having to clear out this area, he did find the defense sword. And for those of you not in the know, the defense sword will let you cast Ruse on whoever holds it, and Ruse is basically high evasion spell. So it's a really nice item to have, and you can cast it as many times as you want on yourself. Great spell.
6 casts of Ruse is equivalent, or 3 casts of Ruse is the equivalent of 6 casts of Invis or Invis 2 across the party. So that'll get you max evasion, which is something you'll hear us say from time to time. Much faster than throwing out 6 rounds of one single target. And
evasion is so much better than anything else you can do on your party as far as defense is concerned. You can have the crappiest armor around, but if you're able to put 6 casts of Invis or 3 casts of Ruse and get your max evade up, the likelihood of something touching you is basically removed at that point.
Yep.
Yeah. Armor's great. Armor reduces the damage you do take, but the best defense is never have to be touched at all. Like, except for that Final Fantasy special of the 3 in 256 chance that something gets through everything. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. That's just the game.
Yeah. I've had level 50 black belts get, zapped before. It's gonna happen. You're gonna see it. You play the game enough, you're gonna see everything at least once.
Yeah, I've had my max evade fighter with the best armor you can ever see get absolutely crunched by a Kraken for 1200 health, and you're sitting there going, I can't even get that much. Game, come on.
Yeah, that's Kraken just making a point right there. You think you're good? Guess what? You're not.
He cracks all 8 of his tentacles, knuckles, and he's like, hold my beer, I got this.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wotes and Iker might not have grabbed the Oxyale. Where was the Oxyale?
It was on the Agama floor.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was watching Tetron kind of clear, and I saw Delasa pick up a Vorpal. I was looking at other things. I just assumed as we're full clearing, you're going to grab everything, but he might have missed the chest.
He may not have gone to the top one and skipped it, or not remembered that. Yeah.
Yeah. The three-pack room.
If he doesn't menu too fast, next time he goes in there to heal, we will check his inventory, but that will be a crippling move for him if he did that. And this is why I didn't want to say, I kind of said it, but I was like, just in case. Like, he has to follow the same moves that Tetron did, but this would be his game to lose. And this is where we get to him not taking the same moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's okay. These are learning moments. These are teaching moments. And we're going to see if it's true or not when he goes into his menu one more time. But
if someone wants to, like, screen cap the second that we get into his saving inventory, that will be the important thing to do. Again,
it should be in about 15 seconds once Carrie takes him.
She has less health than a Lich does right now.
Yeah.
Won't saying he doesn't see it. I'm gonna trust him on that. But if someone else wants to double check that, get a second set of eyes on there. As Won't points this out. I'm not being mean. Won't has one eye, so get a second eye on there.
Won's been on top of this pretty good tonight.
Oh,
I trust I trust his single eye over my two eyes right now.
That is absolutely true. Woat has just confirmed it in chat. And we love to rib Woat. Woat's one of the best trackers and player, like, just fun, casual players we have in the community.
Okay, so yeah, he looks like he's out of there, and
yeah, he's left. I haven't seen him go into his inventory since, but we will double check. So that is going to be awful for him, because he's not going back to Volcano.
Yeah. That is the absolute last location you're going to find right there. There's no reason to go back there. You definitely thought you cleared everything. Yikes.
Yes. That's even worse than the item sitting at Sarda right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. The worst thing that could possibly happen is missing a chest in a dungeon, especially one after you quote-unquote thought you full cleared it and took the orb from the fiend. So you're not going back there.
No, you're not. Well, and the best I can say is that maybe he thinks that's a linked chest. Because there is one linked chest on that floor, and if he got confused over what's linked and what isn't, he might have thought he checked everything, which only makes it worse, because then he's really never going back.
Yep. I think it's the chest on the right in the three-pack room is linked to one of the chests on
and he did. He checked that room, but he didn't check, like, that, or he didn't check that room. Forgot that room was there. Yeah. Maybe because he thinks all of them are linked. Oh.
Yikes. Okay.
So it looks like Tetron exited to get his spell charges back, and now he's back in here to try and take on Tiamat, which I don't hate. This is actually a good move. He's got the levels. He's got a sword. I think he might be using a White Knight strats with the X-Scalp. He picked one up. And both of his Black Casters should have Brack. So Tiamat could, in theory, fall down here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Iker's got the rod. Unfortunately, Iker's going to be full clearing because Iker does not have the Oxyale, and that hurts.
Yeah, he had everything going too, and you know, we're going to say we've all made these plays before. You're on fire, you're going, and just it happens.
Yeah,
it happens.
You get confused in your head about what you need to do. I've been there. This is just learning experience for when you come back and watch this again later, Iker. You need to check that room in the upper, well, I guess middle left is where it is, technically.
Yeah, it's above the Agama floor, or the Agama room to the right, yeah. It's that one pathway that you wouldn't take because it doesn't lead anywhere if you didn't know, so.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we've said a few times already. Never skip chests in an all-loose seed.
Yep, don't do it.
Nope. So this puts Tetron back in a good position, because he's going to be the first to get a second orb lit, presuming he gets past this Tiamat.
So we're doing some block 2, some fade, and a fast off, I think, onto the fighter.
Tiamat's a kitten.
That was... Okay, yeah, this is fine. This silver axe will get us there. It'll just take a little time.
Well, Tom was running behind for a while. Tom has been struggling to get his little flippers going. But he is the second on stream to get that key, which is going to help him a lot.
Oh yeah. He just needs to make the play to go to Volcano to get pretty much all the rest of his items, and then he'll be good to go.
And of course, go do all the key locks, because there's stuff in these key locks you need to.
Yep. Keylog Elfman had 2 items.
Yep.
So just make these checks, everybody. Don't forget them.
I mean, his fighter's not doing a ton right now, Tetron's, but it's enough to get Tiamat down with pure damage.
Yep, and Fade takes her out.
Yep.
Down goes Tiamat. Second orb lift for Tetron at about the 56-45 mark. Pretty good.
Yeah, so I think we're going to see, at least in the race room, and we're not going to tell anyone what happens in there until after we get someone to clear on stream, but we're probably going to see people, I think, finish up these flags in about an hour 30. We'll probably start seeing our first people hour 20, hour 30 getting their finishes done.
Yep. And I think you're going to see them come in bunches, too, because you'll probably see maybe 5-6 people finish within like 5 minutes of each other, and then a bit of a break, because you forgot something, and people are all going to do a lot of that, and then you're going to have another group finish, and then another group finish. It's going to come in waves tonight.
So something else I want to point out, and this is just what I would do. Tetron's here doing his class change and also checking the cardias. I would probably go do my class change first, get that out of the way. Then I'd jump into my airship, fly it up in the air, and immediately save while it's flying, which is something you can do and not everyone knows this. Then, when you go and check each of the islands, if there's nothing you care about in an island, reset, go back to your starting position. You can go check the next island a lot faster than walking everything out.
Yep.
Save the frame.
That's that more advanced tech that these ducks will learn as they keep going. You can save here, you can save there. It's that encounter manipulation that we were talking about earlier with learning how to reset out of a dungeon. Just these little things that save you seconds, that as you advance in this community, seconds start meaning more than minutes.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. You're so happy when your first seed when you're running them and they're taking like 3-4 hours, and you get your first one that's a sub 2. And then you're really stoked when you finally get a sub 130. And then at that point, you're competing with the big boys. And the big boys, it all comes down to seconds.
Yep. It's your routing, it's your pathing, it's not forgetting to not walk in front of doors.
Yep.
It's, what walks do you take through, walking on your damaged tiles, because, in the vanilla game back in the day, you want to avoid those tiles. All they're going to do is hurt you. But now we find out, later on, you walk on those tiles, you're not advancing the encounter table. So going paths through Volcano, it's why Volcano is one of our favorite dungeons to run through in Go mode, because it's literally 90 seconds long.
Yeah. You stick to the there's that X-Scout. You stick to the volcano tiles, all that lava, and I think you only ever have to actually walk on like 30 real tiles in that dungeon.
Yeah, it is
ridiculous.
Absolutely possible, 100% to go through that without taking a single encounter, except carry.
So great. Okay, Tetron, don't forget that dragon armor you have. It's dragon armor +2. It's better than that flame armor you have equipped. You class changed, you can use it. Okay, we'll get back to you on that. So now Tetron's got to figure out where he needs to go next. I do hope he has a tracker up in front of him, so he remembers that Sarda is sitting out there. Because that's the key to crashing into the castle. They deserved it. So Delasa is going and checking Sea Shrine. Hasn't gone to Sky yet to get that rod. Iker has basically everything except the ruby and the oxyale. Oh, another time saver. You've got warp. You still have your black mage up. Well, you had your black mage up. Warp back to the staircase from any of these outlying rooms here on Sky 3 much faster than walking back. Plus, the encounters here are equal. So, just a little bit of tech there. And Tob is now making... Not sure where Tob's going. We'll figure that out in a second. Looks like Tob is thinking about going to Ordeals. You can lean a little closer to that microphone. You can land a little closer to that forest, and all those grassy tiles are landable. Sandwiches are nice to find. Those are a good fight. Yeah, and he's taking that. That's good. So we're not sure when our people are going to be the first to get themselves into go mode. We're still waiting for Tetron here to go and grab that key. That key is what's holding him back from go mode. Because he has everything else he needs. He is buying nuke though, cannot complain about that. That's a good call. We know there's basically not going to be anything here in C except maybe a ruby that's absolutely unnecessary, but getting that ruby might point Delasa over to where the Titan Trove is, and Delasa's not checking. Maybe they warped back. Okay, that ruby could point them to Titan Trove, which can point them to Sarda because they're going to be in that area. You gotta hope if they find the ruby here that it gets them in the right area.
No, it should send him in that direction, like you said. So here's hoping that he does go there, because he's running a pretty good race. But
yep.
they just
White shirt size. Yeah, like the best that we can hope right now is that they find the ruby here at Sea Shrine if they don't go to Sarda immediately. That's where they're at right now. Yeah. White shirt +3 is even better because that's a gold bracelet with bonuses. That's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. So it looks like Tetron is back here in Earth. Probably gonna full clear the last couple floor, or last floor, I guess I really should say. And then kill Lich. But he's in the area. Again, I really hope while he's in the area he goes to Sarda.
Yeah, he's running out of places to go besides heading into places you really just don't want to go.
My mind tells me that if he doesn't go to Sarda now, he's going to go to the on-rack area, he's going to full clear the on-rack area, he's going to do all of his key item turn-ins that he can, and then we're going to see him just do a long pause while he sits there going, what did I forget?
Yeah.
Yep. I have done that more than once on stream in a race. It's never a good feeling. Hiker apparently found the crystal, and he steals... Or she pays him off with stocks and bonds. That's not gonna help. Oh, Iker, we feel so bad for you right now.
So just cresting the hour mark here. Let's say again right here. Let's give our runners a follow.
Yes.
I threw up their links in the chat right there for everybody. They're putting on a really good show for us tonight, so give our runners a follow. And then if you want to follow the broadcasting crew tonight, you got those in there as well. If you want to watch us, talk a big game while we're talking here, and then look bad while we're trying to do it.
I talk a much better game than I actually play. I will not deny it. I remember all the rules I'm giving out right now, but my menuing needs some work still.
Banesword +5 there in the 5-pack chest below the rod plate, so, I mean, it's sure?
Yeah. Important to note that Tom found the ruby in Ordeals. So there's going to be absolutely nothing key item-wise here in C. That's not to say there can't be good gear. He's already found the white shirt, he found another pro ring. Lovely. But there's not going to be anything immediately useful here.
Yeah. And not going to be anything to push Tetron in a direction if that's where he goes next.
Yeah. So something obliterated Tetron's Knight, and I didn't see what it was. I'm going to guess it was an instant death spell or attack or something.
I think it was something that either Geist and Ghouls had, because that's what he was fighting. I looked away for a second, and then the Knight was sleeping.
Yeah, he was just kissing dirt at that point. There he goes. He found his dragon armor and put the pro ring on. Must have been an instant death something, so he's going to be much better protected now.
Yep, nothing to worry about now.
No, he'll be fine. Oh, crap. Something has stone touch.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's the Grimps.
Yep, I think it is.
Who gets away? Hopefully he's got a couple softs, he's good. That is not what you want to see from Grimps, though.
Yeah, they're a pretty common enemy to find.
Yeah.
Especially in these trash areas like Earth Cave Dungeon, Inner Sea areas.
It really is a trash area here, I agree with that. So
Ooh.
Tom is coming here and doing the on-rack play. I mean, okay. This is not a critique. This is a move that most of our pros would say you make. You're on this side of the world. Hit all the locations here. Do not go away from here. We just know it's not the right move.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
he got his key.
Yes,
He got his
Todd has the key. Todd
That's
has
good.
the key, yes.
I mean, it's still not the right move to be here. Don't get me wrong, but it's for a different reason because he needs to go to Volcano.
Yep. Again, very easy for us to sit here and say, go to Volcano. Everything's there. They don't know that.
And I mean, we were having a discussion at the start, like, where do we go? What do we do? Like, I'm saying Volcano's the right play to make, but I've had it beaten into my head. Don't go to Volcano right away. Go to Ordeals. Go over this way. Like these are the places you go. If you have access, go do this instead. I get it. We tell these people to do it. It just so happened that this time you really need to go with your gut play of, oh wait, Volcano. That was what I should have done. Yeah.
Yep. And you gotta think a little bit too about the items you found early in the game. That canoe, like, yes, the floater was for sale there, and that's one of the first key items that they actually quote unquote saw.
Yep.
But that canoe, while it opened up the floater and the airship, it really opened up the inner sea initially, and that's where you got to think, okay, the logic was throwing me here first. Maybe I do these checks before I go up to that northern continent, even though my head is telling me one thing, but my heart's got to tell me another in this situation.
Yeah, that's a difficult part with having such an early floater, and that was, I think we touched upon that immediately. I think what you or I said, oh, that floater's great and all, but it's going to send them all over the world, and that's basically what it's doing. It's like, you don't want to see a sail the high seas basically set. You don't want to be forced to just sail everywhere and not get where you want to go. But that is a troll floater right there.
Yeah, it is. It really is, because it's taking some of our runners away from the area that would have been the most obvious if it was like, say it was Crystal for sale and the floater's out there loose. Yeah, sure, that's easy to say, but that canoe would have steered them into the inner sea still. Yep. And that's what I'm trying to get at right there.
And, I mean, we're seeing Tetron here. Tetron made a lot of the right moves, but Tetron is not going to Sarda.
Yep. And he's going to be full clearing this dungeon as well. And he's going to have all 4 orbs lit at that point, but missing the key. And the key, it's a pretty bad item to be missing, but at least it's not, like the loot, which can literally be anywhere. There's really only, at least the key is going to lock some areas that you can't check. Yeah. So there's that.
So, again, I want to point out, we're probably going to start seeing runners finish up hour 20, hour 30. And that's actually going to cause, like, in this particular, like, circumstances, that's going to cause some of our runners that haven't finished yet to rethink what they're doing. Because we have like 20, 25 people running tonight in the Duck Derby. Because we have a pack of up to like 40 people in here for this graduating class, quote unquote. And what this is actually going to... Oh, Tom didn't go distant checking C. He just did Waterfall. Interesting. Oh, he doesn't have Oxyel. Okay.
Because he hasn't been to Volcano.
So that's there it is, right there. And Delacia killed a Kraken so fast I didn't see it happen. Hiker's probably going to do the same with the Slitch. But the point I was trying to make was, when you're in a one-on-one race, it's win or lose. And, like, the second you see the other person finish, you're sitting there going, well, if I'm not close enough to finish, I'm just going to forfeit, because what's the point? Yeah. Like, there's no bragging rights when you're behind a half an hour behind. But when you're in a race like this, and the pack is going to go from an hour 20 to, like, 2:20 as people slowly start trickling in, the metagame becomes real. What did they do? What did I miss? They found the path right through. Like, and if you know how good the other player is, then you're like metagaming on top of metagaming. Like, And it's these little things. Iker missing that one box there in Volcano is causing him to do more things than he would be doing right now. Here he is going to Ice Cave too. Like, he is not gonna go back to Volcano until he's literally done everything else, and maybe even a few things twice. I'll be honest with you. Like, the position he's in, he's gonna look at everything and sit there going, I've checked every dungeon, people have finished, the seed is completable, and he might forfeit, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I know that I'm not one to like to forfeit anyway. Like,
No.
I want to finish.
I do too.
But that is like, you got to think, you're chugging along, you're rolling, and then you just run into this block where about 40 minutes you're just chasing yourself. Like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna feel real bad, you know.
Yeah. What did you check everything? You thought you did. Now do you want to spend another hour checking every chest again?
Yep.
Yeah. And the decision about whether or not you do it shows whether you're going to finish in 2 hours and 20 minutes or forfeit.
Yep.
The best we can hope is that he remembers he orphaned the chest room there, and he eventually decides to go back.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been, you know, an executive decision at that point, like, hey, I'm going to bypass this room. There's 3 boxes here. What could it have? But the way he's checking everything else, I gotta just think he probably forgot it.
Yeah, that's where I'm at too.
Yep. Okay, so Tetron doing the full clear of C, which we knew he was going to do.
Because there's nothing else for him to do right now.
Yep, Tob and Ice Cave. So Tob's going to have, he's going to have to go down to Volcano next. He's going to find all his items. Thalassa, pretty good right here, but just still missing that key. They'd be in go mode right now as well if they had just checked Sarda. It's just, oh god, I kind of, you hate to see it, but at the same time, I love to see it a little bit right now, because this is a good lesson for the Ducks to learn about, you know, yes, the NPCs are not incentivized. Why would I check them? This is why you don't leave something behind in an Oops All Loose. You just don't.
Well, and it also it solidifies for those that missed it initially that key rule of, as soon as you can, like when you go to Pirates, remember to talk to the pirate afterwards to actually get your item. As soon as you get to a point where you can check Sarda, check Sarda. Like, do not forget him in his one-off location there in the middle of nowhere, because he will pull the Sarda special on you every time.
Yep.
And that's exactly what. That's exactly what Grandpa's doing this time.
Yep, and the siege it's just not being kind to at this point, too, because if they had found the ruby at any other point, it would have pointed them in that direction.
Yeah.
And the ruby's sitting there in Ordeals, and this is the kind of flag set where if you're finding all these things as you go, Ordeals, Ice Cave, they're going to be your last locations you check.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to point them back that way. They're just going to keep going.
I gotta think Tetron's gonna do Ordeals next because he's on this side of the world.
Yeah.
And then I wonder if he's gonna do Sarda or if he's still gonna go do like Ice Cave.
Yeah. And again, you're talking dense locations. You're gonna probably see them do both.
Yeah.
Before they go to Sarda.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's gotta be frustrating for them. They're at like 3 crystals. Tetron's gonna be at 4, and he's gonna be sitting there going, I need to finish. I'm like, soon enough, I'm gonna start seeing people finish. I need to finish. Yeah.
Yeah, Iker heading up to the northern continent now as well, bypassing Volcano. They definitely thought they got everything. You can just tell now. Yep.
Well, and I wanna. So if I'm being kind, I've watched every tournament that Final Fantasy Randomizer has done, and it used to be like there was that meta about don't forget the those couple of hard turn sections in Volcano, because the one person who skips it thinks they're doing great, and the other person who doesn't skip it, that's where your key item is. And back when Loose was the name of the game, those key items always ended up in those hairpins. It could be that same executive decision. This is too far out of the way for me to walk while I'm here. I'm gonna skip it. If it really proves that it's not there, I will check every other chest in the game before I come back to it, because that's what people used to do, and that could be what Iker is doing. I just think you're right. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I think they just forgot it. I mean, you're seeing them check everything else as they go. I mean, you don't make that decision to leave behind that one room on purpose if you're going to keep checking everything else.
Not with how much we tell them not to do that now.
yeah. And yes, there are some seeds where you have to make decisions about making a play. Do I leave this behind? Do I check this? Is this worth my time? With these kind of flags, though, this just really isn't the one to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, the people who make those gambles tend to win when they do their races against me, because I will check everything
same. I got FOMO pretty bad, so I like to open boxes. It's a problem that I have. I'm working on it, but it's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know.
And this is another a lesson for our runners. The Duck Derby and probably a lot of our future tournaments allow the use of an auto tracker via Evo Tracker. It's one that one of our community members, Jat, helped program, and then Hate13 came in and did some tweaks and some adjustments for it as well. Great auto tracker. We allow it in the Duck Derby. We will probably allow it in other ones, and it has maps in there. The map of the overworld that marks all the key items, and it's tracking for you and will let you know when you've checked everything. If Iker had that open right now, which I have to assume he doesn't, he would see, I've missed something in Volcano, I need to go back.
Yep. So we're gonna get to see again how interesting this seed's gonna progress, because Tob is now where he needs.
Yeah. I think we lost Luffy there for a second. Hopefully we get him back.
I need to keep her.
I'm hearing a little static from you, Luffy, but you're on kind of robotic on us.
Yeah, no, my internet's gonna internet every now and again. I was just trying to say that Tob is where he wants to be. He's gonna get his items, and we're gonna see. They just got to start lighting orbs now, because I think they're gonna be in go mode with what they're gonna find in Volcano.
They need Rod from Sky, but
Rod from Sky. Okay,
it'll point them towards go mode.
Yeah, first floor in Sky too, so that's gonna be super quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a Volcano clear and a Sky one away from go mode. So I want to see how fast they can catch up to these other runners that have their orbs lit. I'm very curious.
He had a rough start to it, but he's starting to get his head of steam going. He's got plenty of levels at this point, and he's got class change. Like, he's not in a bad position.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, level 18, it's fine for where he is, especially with what he has left to do.
Yep.
And he's got good gear on him right now. He's got that dragon. He's got an Opal +4. He's got gold bracelets on everybody. He's fine for gear. It's just it's a matter of just grabbing these items and going now.
Yeah, I don't think any of our runners are gonna have a problem with the Temple of Fiends once they get into it. It's just like, and you can see Tetron, despite having 4 orbs lit, is still checking chests. He knows he needs that key, and he's got to be sitting there going, "What did I miss?"
Yep.
And he's going back to sea. He must have done Krakenside first, and now he's gonna go check mermaids. And I mean, that's the play to make.
Oh yeah. There's plenty of chests over here. Every step on Mermaid Floor is free, so you're not taking encounters as you go there.
There's that loot for Tob.
Yep. You gotta hope there though that while he's over here that he doesn't start thinking like, oh my god, well, never mind. He's looking for the key. It can't be locked in TFC.
Yep.
Excuse me. At least
he can unlock itself.
Yeah. I mean, it could, but then we really got to talk to some of our devs about what kind of chaos they're running here.
I think in the entire time I've been in the community, I've only ever witnessed 3 unbeatable seeds that have happened, and one of those times, yes, the key did lock itself because of some beta flag that people were testing that screwed up the logic.
Which now is bypassable because one of the new flags that we have also is thief lockpicking.
Yep.
So once the thief gets to level 10 in some of these flag sets, they're going to be able to open key lock doors. So you really don't even need the key to finish the game from now on. Interesting.
And interestingly, as we just learned today from the devs, you can weekend at Birdie's that thief too. If they're dead, you can just lift up their corpse and put them against the door and they'll still unlock it for you.
That's so great.
If we use that in the tournament, that's going to change the meta, because I would still probably quote-unquote run 3-man and just let my thief die, and once he gets enough levels to lockpick something. And then, just lift his corpse up, because that's all I need him for.
Yep.
So wrong.
But it's funny, though. It's funny.
It is. It reminds me of those spy movies where the secret agent knocks the guy up and then uses his hand on the keypad. Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, even Spaceballs back in the day too, when he's trying to break into the spaceship and he knocks the guy out, puts his hand on there. It's great.
Oh, so good. Okay. So Tob is clearing out everything, and I think Tob actually went and to that one room and got... Was it the Oxyel room, or is he still slowly working his way? Maybe I'm a little ahead of myself.
Here.
Okay.
Yep, it's on this floor here.
And don't get me wrong, it's easy to get yourself turned around on this floor. I'm not blaming Iker for that. The top section and the middle section look very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One thing I want to point out, there's absolutely no point in full healing your people on this floor because they're just going to take lava damage again.
Yep.
Make sure you have heal pots. Do a heal close to full, but you don't need to go all the way.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Thalassa going to Earth Cave here to light their final orb. They're in the area for Sarda, so let's see.
Here's the chime for Top. Again, Volcano is absolutely loaded with key items.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see. Are they going to remember that room with the Oxyel? It's down here and to the right.
That is the problem. Yeah, and Iker is going to be kicking himself when he goes back and watches this, because he could have been in a 45-minute go mode.
Yeah, he's translating slab, too. He's going to do slab turn in. He's doing everything else.
Yep. No, again, I think he's going to be sitting here once he's done all his turn-ins going, what did I miss?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What one-off room did I not remember existed?
Mm-hmm.
But now, see if as soon as he starts seeing people finish at some point, which will happen sooner or later, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got to be sitting there going, like, if it's you or I, Luffy, we'd have to be sitting there going, oh god, whatever I missed is early.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's a feeling you get, like, as soon as you see someone finish. It's obviously a lot more apparent in, like, one-on-one matches, you know, when you see somebody finish and you're like, wow, I still have a dungeon and a half to go. I blew something early on. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's that Oxyel for Tob, so that's almost the full puzzle right there.
Yeah, he just needs to now go over and do Sky next and not get baited by C.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Iker with the reset back to Melman area after seeing nothing from
Tetron, you got it!
So...
Go,
nice.
Tetron!
Okay. There we go.
There you go.
Good.
So that is his go mode now. He can just go to Temple of Fiends, and I think that's what he's doing. Yep.
So feels pretty good to just have to go to Temple of Fiends now and, you know, top off your heal pots and just go and keep going. But now you got to start thinking, oh crap, this was here the whole time. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
How many people are going to finish before I actually make it into the dungeon? Like, like it's that. So I have this feeling that I get. I don't know about you, Lucky. When I'm in a dungeon and someone else hasn't finished yet, my heart starts to just ow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got Lord Fizzlebeef joining us. What's all this then? This is a race.
Yeah.
For those that are not in the know, the Duck Derby is our new player showcase. It's a tournament for our new players who have just gone through our Duckling Bootcamp and learned what they need to know for the randomizer. We do this twice a year. That gives our players a chance to try get their flippers wet in a tournament-like setting without all the pressure of having to go up against the big boys.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And Tetron remembering to go pick up that Massa, so that was a good place. Keeping the Massa on the White Mage, interesting.
So, assuming he doesn't get, like, obliterated by something down here in the Temple of Fiends, we should see Tetron finish in about 10-ish minutes. That is about how long it takes to navigate through the Temple of Fiends with the required bosses you have to take and the number of floors you have to navigate.
Yeah, and with the party competition as well.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have a online black belt at level 42 and the bosses are kind, you can get through here in about 6 or 7 minutes, but that's like
Yep.
the bottom floor for this dungeon.
Yep. Yeah, you can't go much faster than that.
No.
6 minutes is 7 minutes is your target zone with a level 42 black belt, sure.
Yeah. Any faster than that, you're playing on what we like to call short Topher, which is a single dungeon.
So, Sir Tob giving us the Little Scene Grand Tour of Carry Floor, not leaving a box behind.
Although,
I can appreciate this.
I can.
But...
all these boxes, except for the the red dragon chest that we like to call it, are linked chests. So if you've checked everything else here, you've checked them all.
Yeah, and you got Iker over there pausing. They went back to Marsh, checked Marsh bottom lock. So you pointed that out earlier that might have come into play, and it has come into play, just not in the way that they would have hoped. And they're flying around now. What did I miss? You can tell.
Yeah, you can tell. There's that spot of, oh god. And now he's checking the holes that he doesn't normally go to because they're dead ends. Because he's not sure. Yeah, this hurts.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is, what. Overall, though, this is a really great race that they've run up to this point. It's just this one little mistake is going to cost them, and that's unfortunate. But that doesn't take anything away from how well they actually played. No,
performance-wise, they've done really well. Other than forgetting that one chest exists, they should be happy with their overall performance. Whether they finish eventually or have to forfeit, just know that you did really well for what you were doing. Your manual skill was there. Your menuing is great. You've got a good control of the game. You're a little fuzzy on the maps. Just gotta watch a little more and practice with those maps a bit.
Yep. Yeah, there they are, right there, sitting overworld, thinking, what direction do I go in?
Yep. Meanwhile, Tetron is actually on the Earth floor. Now that he's in there, I'm going to switch our volume over and bring Tetron in as our actual main source. There we go. So we're now listening to Tetron, and I'm sure the speaker on the layout will change soon, because Wote's on it. Again, if I do anything other than, just do videos right now, my potato of a computer is gonna die. So... it's not even happy that I have RPG Limit Break chat up right now. I go try and type anything in there and it stutters. So... it's sad. So we got Lich. We had Lich.
Lich. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, I looked away for a second, then I looked back and bye. Okay.
That was Lich. Congrats,
bye,
Lich. You existed.
We hardly knew you. Iker, yep, here we are, going back to the locations that they had already checked. Back in Earth Cave, I mean, did they go mode the bottom 2 floors? Did he not check the ones below the rod plate?
No, they've cleared everything.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they left TFC behind, but no, yeah, our tracker will putting out that they checked it all. So
they checked it all.
Yeah, maybe after this though, it sends them back to Volcano. But we're talking about how fast Volcano is.
I gotta think if he's checking the boss dungeons, he's not even actually checking the chests. He's going in and confirming that they have stuff in them, and then noting that he's already checked them, which is interesting, but will at least make his clear faster.
And Dalasa, also in Temple of Fiends Revisited, pulling the blue dragon on the trap tile before the loot plate. So
that phantom tile, yep.
Well, yeah, blue dragon on that tile. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Words.
No, I got what you're saying. I was letting those in the viewing audience know that that's the phantom tile in the middle.
I appreciate you having my back there.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, look, Iker, back at Volcano. This is good. This is good right here. Yep.
Okay, this is gonna help. This might just get them where they need to be. What we don't want to see is them walk right past that room again. And he's not checking any chest that he knows he checked.
Okay, good. Just get down to the Agma floor. Get down to the Agma floor. That's where your item is.
We're gonna chalk this to him just last locationing it. Knowingly last locationing it.
Alright, so Tetron, running into some unrunnable waters, which is one of our favorite things to see on the seafloor on your way to Kraken. Let me burn any kind of spell that I want to hang on to.
Oh wow, he's already past carry. I didn't even notice.
Yeah. Carry
2
went
kite
down that
bosses
fast.
so far. Okay, that's good to see.
So, I think he's level 22, 23 now. So he's gotten a few levels going through Temple of Fiends. I mean, if the last 2 bosses are not as bad as they can normally be, he should one-shot this. This is gonna feel pretty good. So we have Kraken 2 pulled up.
Fade, Thorhammer, getting a ruse just in case. And not a bad call. His fighter has Cure 4. His fighter, I don't think he learned Life or Life 2. But if you have, with that defense sword he pulled, if you have to man mode this dungeon, keeping that fighter alive is all you gotta worry about.
Yep.
Although, interestingly, he cast Ruse, even though I think he has the defense. So that's an oddball call right there, but okay. Lightning 2, chip damage, don't care about that. Getting the locks out. Oh, here we go. Iker's going here. Iker's doing it.
There we go. Okay, this is the room he missed.
That's the Link's chest. Gets an Argiant just for his trouble.
Oh, gosh.
There it is. Now, if this was a Link to the Past randomizer, we'd see some angry bombing.
Yep. Alright, at least he's got exit there to get himself out as well. Sea Shrine is a relatively quick dungeon. So hopefully he can just go this.
Thankfully, MDef played well for Tetron. Only lost his Black Mage there. Black Mage wasn't doing a whole lot at that point anyway. So, I think he does have his White Mage swinging that X-Cal while the fighter is swinging, or Knight is swinging the Mauserman. Kraken's down, it really wasn't all that bad.
Yeah, he actually has it reversed. He's got the White Mage swinging the Massa and the Knight swinging the X-Cal. I'd reverse those right now going into the final 2 bosses. I want that Massa on the Knight.
Yeah. I gotta tell you, I think, honestly, if it was me and I was in Iker's position...
Right now.
I would honestly go walk down to some lava and just do some spins in the lava out of anger before I exited out. You can't angry bomb, you can't angry slash here, but you can angry spin for a bit, you know?
Things I have done. Yep.
I have done that. I've gone on the overworld and just angrily, like, spun back and forth for a bit. Yeah. Yeah. So Tetron's already up to Tiamat now, having a great run here so far. He's gonna fast. He's gonna fast both his White Samurai and his Fighter Knight. He must have the defense sword on the White Mage, which is why he's using Ruse on his Knight. That would make sense. Except he's not using the defense. I'm confused. Tetron, you got the defense sword. I saw you pick it up. My critique for you, use your defense sword.
Take the free Ruse where you can get it, buddy. Hang on to those Cure 4s.
I know you have Ruse cast. You don't have to use them. Just use the defense sword. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far Tiamat really not doing much that's scary. Getting really not great damage out of those nuke casts. You want them to roll higher than that. And yeah, I don't think we have Temper or the Power Box, so he's kind of just chipping away right now at these bosses with the weapons he has.
Yeah, Temper was level 7 Gaia. I don't think anybody bought that one on their way through.
Yeah, well, problem is whether or not you had enough levels on your Black Mage to even get charges up.
Yep.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. He needs to swap those weapons around because that fighter's going to be getting better hits and better damage with that Masa than the White Mages. Yeah. 100% on board with that with you. Healing up, just in case he gets an encounter, which he does. Smart move. Leaving the Black Mage up, which is in front, which is interesting, but, I mean, They are the most disposable. And now he doesn't have to reorganize his party.
Yep,
It worked.
it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, yep, there we go. He's switching that massa, putting it on the damage dealer where it should be, and then putting the Thor hammer on the on the white mage, I guess, for the lulls.
Bet. Why not?
Yeah.
They can swing it. It's something.
Yeah.
And this isn't a downplay. Sir Tobalot is still working his way through. He's cleared out Earth Cave while he's here. Got his go mode. I don't remember if he's been checking chests or not along the way, but he does have his go mode, so he can just go clear out dungeons and be done.
Yeah.
But we do have Chaos Pull that's fast and locks. Got some buffing. Red Mage took a power hit there. Doesn't really matter though. Red Mage, I mean, when you don't have Temper Cast to use, like the frontline characters at that point are basically just meat shields for your fighter behind. Cast a wall on his fighter, so doesn't have the ribbon on there. Lucked out that there wasn't like a Bane or a Zap that came through on the first round. That's always my concern with the Chaos.
Yep.
Look, a Bane. Good thing he cast that wall.
Yeah, yep.
Yep. Came out right when it needed to. Swinging away, doing okay damage. Not great. Yeah, it's decent chip. This Chaos, I think, is going to have somewhere up to maybe 3,000-ish health. So, 276 hit damage at a time. It's not great. I think that's the only thing I can say is it's not great.
Yeah, that mass has got some good crit, so it's going to get a few more damages in, you know, hopefully, than that along the way. You might see a hit here for about 600-700 damage. It's in there.
Or a hit for 94.
Yeah, there's... Okay.
Honestly, he's using the Thor hammer as magic. I think the White Mage might actually do more damage swinging it at this point.
It seems like a fairly decently absorbed Chaos right here, too.
Yeah.
I mean, 100 damage each right there from a couple of swings. You know, they're not going to be super thick on the HP, but they definitely rolled up on the defense.
Got 8 hits for only 115. Yeah, that's a very high absorbed Chaos right there. Someone's been casting his fog.
Oh, map check drink.
Oh, a nuclear comes out. Almost wipes out both mages. And then lightning takes out the red mage before it can do anything.
Okay, gets the cure 4 from the white mage to come off though, so that's something.
But only cast on the fighter first, which I get, but the fighter actually still had decent health. Like, yeah, and see, that was the risk right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, now you're in Hold A and Prey strats, and Chaos is actually hitting you. Again, oh, and that was that. Okay, that was a point at which the I'm just saying the defense sword would have helped out a lot right there, but it doesn't matter. We're good. We're good. So, Tetron is the first on screen to finish with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, 58 seconds. Our winner on stream. However, and this is where I take a breath, we are going to have a few names and numbers to read off here. And let's do that right now. Oh, wait, actually, before we do that, Delassa is here at Chaos. I don't want to cover over what Delassa is doing. Let's switch over to their sound and let them take the lead here on that.
Delassa using that power bonk that they picked up along the way, so that's already a decided advantage they had over Tetron without having that extra way to buff up their main damage dealer.
Of course, my potato is now dying. Thanks, potato. There we go. Oh, wow. There we go. Okay. Is my video buffering? Yes. Thank you, Twitch. Thank you. Wow.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, no, no. Get back here. No. Come on. Oh, my God. Stop that. What are you doing? Go. Thank you. This is why I was saying my computer is a potato right now. I do apologize for how bad this is looking right here, but... Oh, and we missed!
Hey, GG's Delasa.
GG's Delasa. I'm pausing the stream and trying to save my computer from itself. Okay. Okay, let's there.
Take a breath. Let's move on.
Take a breath, computer. You're good. You're good. Okay. So, as I was saying, in first place we have Krellin with an official racetime.gg time. Yeah, that's the right one. Hour 19 minutes 1 second. That's right around where you and I were saying, somewhere in the hour 20 to hour 30. So Krellin helped to prove that right. Second place, Papa Ducks with 1:19:48. Only about 40 seconds between the two. Very impressive. You can see how fast these flags were going. Third place was Adam Rupp, 1 hour 25 minutes 37 seconds. Jar Jar Thinks, 1 hour 27 minutes 20 seconds. That's fourth place. Earthwing Angel in fifth place, 1 hour 30 minutes and 2 seconds. Velik in sixth with a 1 hour 33 minutes 49 seconds. And then Dusk Plume tucking in right behind, 1 hour 35 minutes and 10 seconds in seventh place. Eighth place was Rich Boruk. I can never pronounce his name right, and I do apologize. Borqua? We'll go with that. 1 hour 35 minutes 23 seconds. Ninth place was Goats Pirate, 1 hour 35 minutes 38 seconds. Here's that group you're talking about.
Yep.
Kumo in 10th place, 1 hour 35 minutes 41 seconds. Then we have 11th place, Hate 13, 1 hour 37 minutes 31 seconds. Actually, I think 9th and 10th, we're going to need to do a retime on that. That's 3 seconds apart. We may actually have a quote-unquote tie between them that we need to double-check on. 12th place was Tetron here. That's what we're getting up to. 1 hour 38 minutes 58 seconds. Budge Mono at 1 hour 39 minutes and 6 seconds. And then Delazia, 14th place, 1 hour 40 minutes 57 seconds. GG's to everyone that's finished so far. We're now going to continue onwards with Iker as they're at Kraken and see how Iker is doing.
So simultaneous Krakens on the screen. Tablat pulling Kraken 1 as Iker pulls Kraken 2.
We will see if we can get Tetron and Delasa here in for interviews. Okay, I'm checking in now.
Tetron was in the broadcast waiting room. I just pulled him in.
Perfect. Tetron, GG's. I'm seeing you turn on and off, but I'm not actually hearing you for a second. It might be a microphone issue. We'll wait until Tetron gets back here, and hopefully we hear from them. Also, we're going to be able to pull in Delasa right now. Delasa coming in 14th place. GG's, Delasa. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So, first question for you, and we'll have it for Tetron as well once they're able to get their microphones situated. How'd you feel about that key in Sarda?
Yeah, pretty much what everywhere else, and that was,
Yeah. So
I totally spaced out the tail pretty much. I saw it at the beginning and then forgot about it.
And actually, Luffy and I talked about that too. Yeah, this is learning experience, I think, for both of you right there. Don't forget about Sarda and don't forget about that tail. Yep.
It wasn't necessarily I forgot about Sarda. I knew he was still there. I just didn't do it at that time.
Yeah, that's one of those things. I can't necessarily disagree with the thought process there. A one-off check. It's just Grandpa Sarda likes to hold on to things. Yeah. So tell us about your run. How'd you feel about that?
I actually felt pretty good, and I wish I would have finished my Earth dive at the very beginning instead of dipping out early when I just got some money out of it. But
yeah,
other than that, it went great. I mean, as well as could be expected for all loose for me.
Yeah, I get you. Okay, we'll get back to you in a second, but we do have Iker here coming up against Chaos. They're doing... Oh, he actually went and bought Temper, so that's good. And one interesting thing to note, he does have his Knight up front. Blizzard is chip damage. Blizzard we don't care about, but he's going to start nuking. Getting better rolls for nuke than we've seen from some other players, which is just... That sucks. Oh, 7 hits, 828. That's what that temper does right there.
Yep, that's a lot better.
That's a lot better. Another nuke. 380. Wow, those nukes are doing so good. Although so is Kraken or Chaos's nuclear.
Oh boy. Okay.
6 hits for 316. I mean, Chaos can't have much more health at this point. He's going to be falling over soon.
Yeah.
I say that, and he gets 728 and still standing.
Wow.
Thunder's going to kill that red mage. Well, made it easy for him. Don't have to worry about anything but swinging. And that does it right there. Another almost 1,000k damage there. Iker finishes. We had IB Karma coming in 15th place at 1 hour, 45 minutes, 42 seconds. And Iker is here at 16th place, 1 hour, 46 minutes, 12 seconds. GG's to Iker there. That was hard fought, all things considered. We will see if we can get Iker in for an interview. Nope, you're working on it, Luffy. Good to see.
I got your back, buddy.
Thank you.
Hey, Darkmoon, this is Tetron.
Hey, finally got you in. Good to see.
I had my tab muted. It took me a minute to figure out why we couldn't hear anybody.
You're good. You're good, buddy. So GG's there. How'd you feel? Like I asked the loss of this. How'd you feel about that Sarda with the key?
So I have two regrets. One was not finding the power bonk or temper, and the other one was not checking Sarda. Because that was easily like a whole. Well, yeah, I did the whole
full clear
sea shrine dive and the waterfall dive because I was in go mode except for the key.
Yep.
So that would have given me a way better. Yeah, would have been easily 5 minutes or more faster if I'd checked Sarda. But
honestly, I think you would have had to go and get some levels under your belt. But I honestly think you probably would have shaved 10 minutes or so, if not for that key. Yeah.
Easily, yeah.
Because you full cleared everything except ordeals, basically.
I never touched Ice Cave either.
Okay.
Or Marsh Bottom. Some of the key locks. But it's funny because I played a practice seed earlier, and I'm like, one of my strategies going in here was to kind of ignore most of the fetch quest NPCs because they just give you garbage, right?
Yeah.
So the one time there's a fetch quest, NPC with a key item, so you have a strategy, and then the rando always messes it up.
The Sarda special right there, everyone. So your Temple of Fiends went really well, and that's the same for Delasa as well, and Iker as soon as they come in. Like, all your Temple of Fiends were like 1 dips.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't ask for a better one than that, although that Chaos fight was a little bit of a white knuckle. It was like I just kept chipping away at him. I'm like doing the math in my head, and I'm like, come on, between everybody, I am still doing like 300 or 400 damage around with like the nukes and the fades and the whatever, and it's still just Chaos. That was a chunky armored Chaos, and it would have been really nice to have temper for that, but made it through.
Yep.
So Iker, GG's for you joining in.
Thank you.
We do have a question for you, and I'm sure you know what this question is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
So what was up with that Oxyale?
I don't know how I missed that room. I was like just trying to think at the end, like, what did I miss? Did I miss something in Volcano? I know I cleared ice, so I went back to the Earth. It's like maybe I missed something there, and I figured it had to be something there. I missed something there the first week of Duck Derby, where like the one loose item was in Volcano in a room I missed too. And I don't know how I skipped it. Brain fart.
I do feel a little bad because I feel like it was commentator curse. You were going into Volcano, you were following Tetron around. Luffy can attest to this. I was like, okay, as long as he follows in all of Tetron's first footsteps, this is gonna be Iker's race to lose. And then you walked right past that room, and we're both sitting there going, no.
Yeah, because at that point, you had already gotten the key that some of our runners were still missing and had promoted. So and it does not take away from anything
No.
that you're racing. You've raced a fantastic race, and this is the learning moment that we all learn as we play this game. Is you can't forget these little things here. But when you go and watch this back, your decisions were spot on. Your routing was very, very good. Your routing turned into extremely good because you had to keep clearing things. But you know what? That's going to happen. So great race overall. It was really nice to watch.
Thank you. Yep, just takes one room.
Yeah,
Whenever you lose.
one room. That's what I think every runner here dealt with, that in one form or another. Either that one room or Sarda or something. That one-off check just bites you.
I was really happy about that early key, so I figured I'm going to stop there on my way to Volcano. And yeah.
Seriously, if you'd followed Tetron after doing Volcano and you'd had the Oxyale, gone to Sky next, which you did, you would have had to go first floor of Sky, and like, I think 115, 120 would have easily been within your reach.
Yeah.
So
do that for next week.
Yep, for next week, but good learning experience. So guys, I'm gonna kick it over to Luffy, let him ask some questions, but yeah, I mean, good job all around, and I want to hear more from all of you about like how your runs went. Luffy, take it away.
So Iker, what was your thought process early in the seed there? You see that floater for sale in Provoca, and what goes through your head when you see the vendor item like that?
Looking for canoe. Pretty sure I needed the canoe to turn it in. So you're like, okay, I'm just checking everything I can looking for that canoe. And that canoe location was really funny. I think that was the last spot I have left. I'm like, it has to be in here somewhere.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy to watch. Dark Moon and I are thinking like, okay, the progression's either going to be in Marsh Cave or Earth Cave, and Delasa, I think, was the first person to get over. No, it was you. You were the first person over there into Earth Cave, and Tetron wasn't very far behind you. And as you keep progressing, we're like, okay, it's on this floor, and then you get through Earth 2. We're like, okay, so it's probably on the vampire floor, and then you clear that. You get to the vampire, like, okay, it's got to be in this chest, and there's the canoe.
Yeah.
It's a really funny place for it. But yeah, when I saw that, it's like, okay, floater, and we got the world open. And immediately, first thing I was going to do was go promote.
Yeah, free tail like that. I mean, you can promote at any point. So getting that early floater, early canoe, being able to get in the air, absolutely the right play to go and promote as soon as you could, for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was 100%.
So, question for Tetron over there. When you were routing in the beginning, you were doing some really good decisions and thinking about where to go and what to do. What were your thoughts as well with finding that early floater for sale in Provoca? Were you thinking, I just got to get money? Were you also trying to suss out that canoe? What were you thinking, and what was your decisions?
Yeah, well, my first thought was, oh, darn, I don't have enough money. It's 14,000 gold. So I tried to do a pop grind, and that didn't really go well. So you just kind of saw me try that and decide, okay, never mind, I'm going to go open some chests instead. And then I was sort of fixated on, okay, I just need money, and then realized, oh, shoot, like the Ryukon dock's not on, so I'm going to need the canoe anyways. So like, I'm just going to have to go dive stuff. And, but I hit Marsh and nothing there, and like, well, I'm stuck with Earth Cave, or like maybe the sages have it, but I might as well just do Earth Cave because I've got a full clear it anyways. So it was satisfying to find it on the last chest of Earth, but that's like it was pretty funny, yeah. But then I had enough money to go get the floater, go row over, get the airship, and get going. So that was fun.
Yep. Yeah, that floater early on was such a trolley item to find in the vendor shop because it opened up the entire world for you runners, and finding that canoe as well opened up the rest of the world, the locations that are locked by the canoe, and then thinking about how you have everything now right in front of you. You can go anywhere you want to go. but also keeping in mind, like, okay, that canoe unlocked my pathway to the floater, sure, but it also unlocked my inner sea items as well. And the inner sea was much more dense with items, which you're going to expect to see in these kind of flags anyway. But it was just loaded, and Volcano especially. It was crazy to watch.
Yeah, that was honestly probably a very trolly floater right there, just because like suddenly you go from having none of the world open to all of the world open, and you're just like, what do I do now? Yeah.
That actually routing was not a problem because as soon as I had the floater, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hit Volcano. Like I've got the levels. There's a gazillion chests there. I think I walked out with like 4 or 5 key items, and having both the chime and the cube in Volcano meant, all right, I guess we're going to Sky now. It's Sky.
Yep.
So it wasn't the routing wasn't actually, you can, if you don't have a plan, you can definitely get stuck with an airship and nowhere to go, but that wasn't really a problem here. I did kind of like forget that I needed to promote, and I don't know, I'm very forgetful. It's by far my worst like runner flaw is just, oh look, I forgot that I have a defense sword.
Yeah, we were also going to ask you about that. We see you casting Ruse on the knight, and we're like, okay, sure, but you picked up that defense sword, right?
Yeah, and then I used it later on. I just was...
Alright, so while we've been chatting with our runners that finished, we got Sir Tobalot here in Temple of Fiends Revisited on the water floor. He's taking a bit of a scenic route around the floor. Again, this is the newer runners not knowing exactly what pathways you want to take. He's taking quite a few unnecessary fights here on the way to Kraken. But I mean, he's getting some levels while he's at it too. So I mean, there's also that. But he's gonna run into a spot right here where he's got to double back again and come back in, and it's stuff you're gonna learn as you keep playing this game. You'll learn the right routing through things, and it's we've all been there. And again, it's not trying to minimize any kind of race they had. They ran a pretty good race. Once they got themselves in go mode, they flew through the rest of the sea. They lit their orbs very quickly. It was just tough sledding to get there.
So we are going to let this run play out at this point, but then win or lose, if Tob has to come back in another time, we're going to bounce over to him for a raid. Otherwise, we're bringing him in for an interview right now, but we will be at the 2-hour mark right there, and we're going to try and give RPG Limerick back their channel if he is. So, but yeah, we do want to run through Sir Tobalot's last run, or his run here through Topher, and see just how he does.
Alright, so throwing out some fades, some lightning 3s, swing by that Massa, 4 hits, to almost 200 damage, pretty good. Kraken 2, throwing out lightning 2 for chip damage, does lightning 2 things.
Very much so.
Yep, we got some more fade, a heal helmet for good measure, and ice 2, sure. We got the power bonk here too. Okay, so we're gonna add up we're gonna buff up that knight a little bit. The heal helmet goes off. There's the zap and the okay. The zap takes down the knight.
Oh.
That's a bit of a problem, but
this
we do know that
an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, we do know Kraken can go down if we can get some good rolls from these fades, but
he was a bit chunky, but like Tetron took him out without like doing a ton of damage.
Yeah.
So
Fade's rolling under 100 though, not great.
Not so great now.
Yeah.
Fade can do up to like there.
Okay. Whew. There we go.
Hopefully he bought life. Yeah, he did. We're good. Okay, we're good. Make sure you put that ribbon back on Doug there, though, dude. You want the ribbon on Doug.
Yep.
He can dress up like Quailman all he wants as long as he has that ribbon. Okay.
With our audience, I think we're only a few of us that are going to get that reference, but I can appreciate it very much, Darkmoon.
You're watching Final Fantasy, the NES version. I think a deep cut 90s Nicktoons reference is going to play just fine with this audience.
Yeah, you're probably right there. I take it back. All right, so we got Tiamat 2 pulled. Tiamat leads with Inferno. I think there was a cheeky Brack he's throwing out. We got Fast on Doug. Power Bonk. Yep, there's the Brack. It misses. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna debonk again. Cheeky Brack.
See,
And
the audience is with me on the Doug references. There you go. Yep.
I forget the game we're playing sometimes, and more so, I mean, like, yes, this game's 30 years old, but I mean, it changes and it's so new all the time. I forget that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be able to make that reference if we decide to start playing the new version of Final Fantasy that's coming out soon, but yeah, no.
Yep. All right, so still throwing out some cheeky Bracks here. We got a Cure 4 going off. He's bonked up that Knight pretty good. Should be doing some fairly decent damage if he can get if he can pump through.
Keeps the White Mage healed up, which is smart. I'm worried what happens, like, he can't get life on the fighter, so I'm worried what happens if Tiamat decides to, like, one-shot that White Mage. That's going to throw him for a bit of a loop there.
Yep, almost 1,000 damage on that last Master Swing, though, so we're getting there.
Yeah,
yeah, that was a big swing. 10 hits, 1274. Bye-bye, Tiamat. Life 2, bring up that Red Mage, and just going to walk down to Chaos Floor.
Yeah, as Lord Fizzlebeef in our audience will say when he's doing comms for this, paunch right there. That was huge.
Oh yeah. All right, so Tobalot on to Chaos Floor.
Now I'm gonna ask you something.
Where was that? Where was the power bomb?
Hell, I don't
know. Let me check Wote's notes here. Power Bonk was Ice Cave Frost Wolf Room.
There you go.
Wote, you sir, you're a gentleman and a scholar. I appreciate you.
Wote taking the best notes we have here. It's so good. Now, he kept the fighter up, which could work out okay so long as like Chaos doesn't decide to punch or nuke and then punch, or punch and then nuke without being able to get some healing in there. Blizzard's gonna be just fine. But he is also power bonking. I don't know if he go moded Sky or not. He needs to get some defense up for him. Invis or Ruse or something, because we did see that Chaos hits for 130 or so a hit. We do not want to see him like a wombo combo that fighter and take him down, because he's got like close to 3,000 health.
Yeah, and to make a point here too, they never bought Wall on that White Mage, just on 4, so that would have been something he could have thrown out onto the Knight to protect him, because we know that Chaos has a zap in their back pocket somewhere.
It's gonna cure up the... Oh, no!
Oh, there's the Bane.
And that is gonna... I mean, I know he still has fighters up, and he could try to fight this through, but with the 3,000 chonky Chaos and barely any spell charges left, this is...
Yeah.
He has no buffing for that White Mage, and they're punching anyway. They don't have a weapon equipped.
Yeah, that was a huge fade roll there. 308. That's big.
Yeah, he's gonna play this out, but this is pretty much over right here. Light Axe is not gonna do anything. Oh, baned through a ribbon, you gotta assume.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
He is gonna have to take a pause and think about this. He is swinging, something. Is that the Sun Sword?
Maybe it's that Bane Sword +5?
He could be... Can the Red Mage swing that?
Maybe?
I didn't think they could.
Red Wizard?
I think it's the Sun Sword.
Yeah.
Which, good use of the Sun Sword, but 43 health, he's gonna get wiped any second now.
Yeah.
With almost exact damage.
Oh, that's rough to watch.
So I think he's gonna go and maybe look for some gear or do a grind or something, which I don't think is a bad call in this part. But we are, however, going to start wrapping things up here. We still have Tetron in the booth with us. Delacia and Iker had to go, which is fine. GG's to both of you. You guys put on a hell of a show. Tetron, any final thoughts from you, sir? If you're still with us.
Yep, I'm here. Not really. I had a lot of fun. I think I already shared most of it, but yeah, I don't know. I was pretty happy. If I'd just visited Sard, I would have had a way better time. So, you know, it's always something.
Never forget Uncle Sarda. That's the rule. So, Luffy, I'm gonna let you actually do the outro for us right here, but I wanna thank everyone for watching. Hopefully you got some good lessons off of us while you were watching this. Hopefully our runners did as well. I don't ever do it myself. I'm bad about. I hate watching my past performance, but there is benefit to going back and watching how you did and seeing what you could improve. And there's benefit to just going and watching other races and just learning from the people that play the game and seeing what they do and understanding what the commentators are saying. That's part of the learning experience. And even if you are in this tournament, and even if you come away with a first place here and get the title of Duckling Supreme, there's still stuff to learn, and there's always benefit in learning from this community and learning from the events that you participate in. That's, I think, a lesson to take away from these duck races that we do right now. And with that, I'm going to leave it to Luffy to do final thoughts and to wrap up this stream before we send a raid over to RPG Limit, or over to Sir Tobalon.
Yeah, so I want to thank Darkmoon for joining me in the booth tonight. I want to thank Woat for taking Woat's notes and keeping us on point and doing all the good stuff behind the scenes, pushing the buttons and keeping us on track. Thank you to our runners for putting on a great show, showing you how much fun and yet how infuriating and also how rewarding playing Oops All Loose can really be. Thank you to RPG Limit Break for hosting us and everybody who joined us tonight to watch these races. They're throwing up some of the Discord and some of the links in the chat there. If you want to watch our runners, follow them. If you want to follow us commentators too, sure. We have channels. You can come watch us play as well. And join us in the Discord, FinalFantasyRandomizer.com if you want to play Duck Derby stuff. Still going for the next few weeks, and then we're going to have our summer co-op tournament starting in the beginning of August, which is also going to be a lot of fun. So with that, we're going to send the raid on over to Sotabala. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight, and ciao and chillax, everybody. Final Fantasy Randomizer fam, we gone.